the tallest man alive in this conference, the sexiest, Daniils!
Thanks a lot for the introduction, Gonzalo. Thank you so much for coming to the talk. Really appreciate it. Today we're going to talk about ads. My name is Daniils Visnakovs. The presentation is called $1 Million Clicks, Digital Ads That Deliver. And learning from Sarah, grabbing people by the soul, I have some engagement run for you. Please put a hand up if you have never run ads before. That's quite a few people that have run ads in this case. Amazing, okay, keep your hand down. Now the ones who have run ads, please hands up. Keep your hand up. Ones who have run ads for under 5,000 euros, put your hands down. 10, 15, 50? Nice, perfect, all right. That's very, very good to hear. So we are gonna talk today about some basics of digital marketing and also of digital advertising. I'm gonna talk about conversion tracking, I'm gonna talk about the creatives, I'm gonna talk about targeting and clarity in your funnel. And if you have never run ads before, I hope that you're gonna learn a bunch of new stuff today. If you have run ads before, very, very happy to hear that. You're probably already having an opinion, and I have mine, and I'm gonna share mine today. Maybe this will give you another perspective on things, and if you want to talk about anything later on today, after the talk, please come to me, we can talk. Before we talk about how to run ads, it makes sense to talk about what and who do you want to sell to. Yeah, this is a basic customer profiling, who is our target audience. And this is very, very important for different reasons. So for example, the gender, their income, their desires, the problems they have. Where are they? Are they traveling? Are they nomads? And what problems might they have that you can solve? This can be very important, let's say, because let's say you have a pet sitting business. And a 35-year-old IT administrator probably prefers a more direct approach in a blue and white website that says, we are doing this, we're gonna pick up your dog, we're gonna deliver it to you afterwards, we are good. And Berlin 26-year-old feminist maybe wants a more sensual approach, and dog is gonna feel good there, etc., etc., etc. Like, it's all about who do you talk to, and you can sell the same thing to different types of people in many, many different ways. Lots of jargon today. I'm gonna try to explain it as much as possible. Let's say you figure out who do you want to sell to, and this can also depend where you are. Maybe a younger audience will rather be on TikTok and Instagram, and an older audience probably be rather on Facebook or somewhere else. Push and pull marketing. You might know inbound or outbound marketing. Push and pull is practically the same. We have intent creation and intent capturing. Still don't understand, right? I know it's typical. So we have on one side platforms where people are just spending their time, they're scrolling, like me too young, doom scrolling. And then sometime an ad appears. Somebody thinks, or we assume, that in this specific moment, this specific kind of person would maybe potentially be interested in what we sell. It works, or it doesn't work, whether or not people sometimes click and they buy. On the other hand, if we have a service, let's say, that is a car mechanic in Berlin, people might already search for it, so there's already existing search volume count. And we can show our ads specifically in the moment when somebody looks for it. So Google Ads, in this case, the most popular for the push marketing, Meta Ads. Now, assuming you're already running ads right now, it's very important to understand if they work. Right? We're spending money, we're testing different angles, maybe different pictures, maybe different videos, different copy. And conversion tracking, I'm going to talk about it in a second, is your foundation. Conversion tracking is basically just what happens after somebody clicks on our ad, technically. So we spent money, the person came to our website, did they buy? Did they submit a lead form? Did they maybe copy our email out, etc.? And then to be able to understand that advertisement number A in comparison to advertisement number B performed worse or better, or at all, if it performed. So conversion tracking, we're gonna dive into it a little bit deeper, is very, very important. Because valid data is not cost per click, or your impressions, or your CPM, or whatever the standard metrics are being delivered to you. I mean, they are important for the people who are doing ads, but we are caring about, did you make money at the end of the day? And that's very vague, but it translates into leads, purchases, calls, appointments. This is important. You are optimizing ads not for some metrics, you're optimizing ads for leads and money at the end of the day. Have you ever seen an ad like this? I see some smirks. That's my company, by the way. No, I'm not doing ads like that. We all have. They're terrific. There's always a slogan that nobody really understands, and it always is like, one of those ads. There's obviously some kind of, we are the best, we are the greatest, and ideology and excellence or something, but nobody really takes even a deeper look at those ads. I am, on the other hand, rather a very, very big fan of simple. I suggest you, even if you never have run ads before, or even if you're running ads right now, but you're very corporate-looking, fancy, productive, fast on board, to try something very, very simple. Rather than in 2 minutes, 10 to 5 hours, and launch immediately. An example. Yeah, it's important because the offer is key. That's clearly communicated. An example. 50% of a co-working Nomad this week only probably will perform better than a fancy video of people sitting at their laptops at the desk. Or what do you think performed better here? There's not supposed to be any sound there. That doesn't matter. It matters that there is a fancy productive talking head video of me talking into the camera selling some bullshit, and on the left side a picture of some text, and it's ugly. 22 euros per lead, 16 euros per lead, 46 euros per lead. The service is 499 and 749 euros one-time purchase, and I pay 22 euros per lead. A strong offer will always beat fancy branding. And I'm not saying that fancy produced videos don't work. I'm just saying I'm a person that rather will build something for 2 minutes, launch it immediately, test it out, and then expand on it. And in this case, Nomad speaks to a very specific kind of audience. Digital nomads. People see the ad and I go, oh, okay, that's me, right, let's look. And this leads me to the point. Creative is the new targeting. I mentioned in the first slide that it's very important for you to understand who you're selling to, who your customer is, and what you want to sell. Well, this is not only a very great base for your marketing, your ads in general, because this adapts how you speak to the landing page, what kind of copy you have in your advertisement, what colors you may choose or not, and also is a help for the algorithm, because it's way smarter than all of us, and smarter than me. And if you say digital nomad or remote worker or cosmetic studio owners or dentists, it knows. And you mostly can't even target digital nomads, for example. Sounds risky. If you haven't done any ads before, you might have already thought, I should have, or you've done ads and you've burned your money. The truth is, it's actually not that risky, and you don't need big budgets for that. Because digital ads drive near instant feedback. It's not a billboard or a flyer where you need to wait for a couple of months and you can't even really track it. There is systems for that as well, but it's not as big. I spent only 120 euros in general for 2 sales calls on these ads. Because the goal is not to hit a home run. The goal is to start, to test, to create the first approach, to see if people will react to it, and then test again and again and again and again to then find finally the winning ad. The truth is, you don't know. My friends always laugh about it. They say this is my second slogan after advertise better. I always say, you don't know, you need to test, you don't know. But I also don't know. And the agency you hired doesn't either. That's why test the hell out of it. This is me scrolling for one of the client business managers in Facebook just to showcase the amount of ads are being tested on the regular basis. And you also need to test new ads because people get tired of seeing them. This is called ad fatigue. The platform even tells you, now think again of this corporate ad I showed in the beginning that you just find very boring, you just skip through. Ad platforms know it as well. People get tired of ads. If somebody looks at the same ad too many times, they probably gotta already acknowledge it and know it by the next time you see it and just skip it. That's why testing your creators and having a constant flow of them is very, very important. That's why, short recap, Invest time in your offers, messaging individuals in exact this order, because this is the lever that's going to make or break your campaign. By the way, for all of those who are making pictures, there's going to be some free material at the end with all on everything I just talked about. Let's say you're running ads now. Where to? There's many options. You can run ads to your landing page or a whole website. You can run ads directly to a survey, so a lead form, or directly to a calendar. You probably know this very popular mix of those where there's a lead form or a calendar on the landing page. Doesn't matter. Test it out again. But the more important thing is, don't overthink it. Don't. If you're especially right now starting it out, this is what you might want to build, but this is how it's going to look for the customer. And again, like with the creative, I'd rather build only for half an hour instead of 10 hours and test it out and then explain them what works and what not. I think many business owners know that and can identify with this. The great idea disease is what I call it for myself. I wake up and I'm thinking, yeah, I could build this funnel from this ad and it's going to go to a landing page and then we're going to upsell the people later, but then we're going to cross-sell and we're going to follow up with an email sequence, and then it never even comes to life. Sounds familiar to you? Or with any other business topic? Because then you're focused on admin work. You can launch an ad in 1 hour and it's going to be less confusing without any friction for the end user. And I encourage you to do so. You can always expand later. Clarity. That's why if you promise a free PDF, deliver a free PDF. It's that simple. No friction, no confusion. If you promise get a free consultation in your ad, make it a book a consultation button in your landing page and not book a second session with me or download the free PDF and book a consultation with me. Make it simple. No friction, no confusion. Consistency builds trust, fights confusion, and reduces drop-off. I should have highlighted drop-off. This is the more important thing. You're already paying money for traffic. You're already buying ads. That's why it's called media buying. And then, if you have the people on your landing page once, make them stay as far as you can, even if you sell them already. Real-world examples. An ad, another ad, another ad, another ad. You get an idea. Some ads. Some of them might be more uglier than others, or more simple. Some of them might be fancy, done in 2 minutes, or done in 5. Most of them done in 5. But they have one in common. They deliver. Why am I showing client ads to you? Not because I want you to know who I'm working with, no. It's because there's nothing new under the sun. Nothing. And a matter of fact, I encourage you to inspire yourself from ads of your competition. By law, platforms are obliged to have so-called transparency tools. So the Meta Ads library, again, there's a link to it in the free material you're going to get afterwards, or the Google Ads Transparency Center allows you to look up everything by keyword, country, and domain name that everybody writes and sends people to and what images they use. I've talked about track home. So this is getting a little bit more advanced, but I think that this is very, very important, and this is also where my background personally is. I already told you that we need to optimize for sales leads and bookings and not any vanity metrics. So we want to optimize our ads for an actual return on investment. How much have I paid for a person calling me, or how much did I pay for a purchase, and do I make any profit or not? A little story. Advertising game has changed in the past couple of years a lot. Especially in the privacy side, we have iOS 14.5 update in 2021. So a huge drop in traffic because of the change of privacy settings on your iPhone, 30% overnight. Safari and Firefox are completely cookieless. Cookies are, for the ones that don't know, little containers like fingerprints that contain information. This specific person has been on this website, and this is your login and password as well. So they are cookie-less, they don't exist anymore, or at least not advertising cookies. Chrome, I think most of you probably use Google Chrome, is going to become this year. We have ad blockers, we have cookie consent banners, so we need explicit consent from users in Brazil and California, but also in the whole European Economic Union, which probably will matter to you. All of these things are very, very hard to overcome, and it's not that advertising became harder, it actually became easier, but the technical part of it, especially for a small-sized business, is a lot. Like implementing a Google Tag Manager and Google Analytics and your conversion API and Metapixel on your website doesn't only sound horrible, it is horrible. But it's important. That's why I also have a step-by-step tutorial that covers the basic stuff for lead generation, how to do tracking on your own materially. My provocative take on that, GDPR is a scam, big quote marks, because businesses that are big enough find extra loopholes to go around it, and you, little business owner, need to comply or lose data. Be compliant. Be compliant, but get as much as you can. As much as you can, whatever it costs. Because the entry level of advertising became so low that everybody can do ads. Performance max campaigns, Advantage Plus on Meta, one-click solutions, the ad platforms just retrieve information from your landing page, they automatically get the pictures and the text, everybody can do ads. That's not hard anymore. So that's why your offer matters the most, and that's why the more data you have, the bigger of a leverage you have in front of your competition. I can drop many jargon, service-side tracking, enhanced conversions, and profits over revenue, and so on, but you get the point. Just get as much data as you can. Another recap. Let's see. What do we just cover? Where to start? Identify your customer, identify what you want to sell. Who might they look like? How are you going to speak to them? Which platform do you want to use? Where are your customers potentially? Is somebody already searching for your service or product? Google Ads. Is Nomad searching for your product, or is it a highly visual product you want to sell or something new? Then it's push. So Facebook, Instagram, TikTok. How to make your offer clear? You promise a free PDF, you fucking deliver a free PDF. Please don't do any other things on this webpage. Creative is your targeting. We cannot target digital nomads. There is no option to target digital nomads. We can say, hi, digital nomad, you want to come to an event? Simple beats fancy, and I prefer produced in 2 minutes and launched in 5 instead of the other way around. Small budget is okay. Page must match the ad, already said that, and how important conversion tracking is. Now, this is not the end of the presentation, but this is the free material you can get. Scan it now. And if you have any questions afterwards, here's the link there, and the website. Yeah, give you a couple of seconds to scan. It's a Notion page, has the checklist, has the conversion tracking guide, and my email on it. Just to not leave you alone after this talk, if you would like to start any ads today. And there's a little story I'd like to tell you. That's Chris. I met Chris 2 years ago at a digital nomad event. We became very, very good friends. Love this man. He was speaking at the stage last year. Fortunately, he's not here today. Besides him being an amazing human being, we also started working together a year ago. And so the story of Chris is his business doubled because of advertisement since a year. And my encouragement today is, be Chris. Finally do it. Takes you only an hour. Promise me. If you're not doing any ads so far, it takes $100. It's your $100 to test it out. If you're already doing ads, but you feel like you're not doing enough, if you should optimize it, take a day, sit down and do it. The checklist hopefully will help you, but there's also enough information about to do your ads on your own. And even if you don't decide to do ads on your own because you want to outsource it, it makes sense to understand what the other person is doing because it's your money, your leadership. Some sample questions here. I'm going to go over that so you get an idea what you could potentially ask. How small is small? 5 euros per day. I'm not big enough and to hire an agency, so where do I learn it myself? I love YouTube. I absolutely love Udemy and Coursera. And for Google Ads specifically, I have a very, very good recommendation. It's a course by iStack, who that's been 14 years. And I've lost lots of money because whatever, like thousands of dollars before that. I'm very scared to do them again. I'm very sorry. That very, very much sucks. This happened to many people I know. But there's really no alternative. What you gotta do now? Billboards? Flyers? You're not Apple to do that. You don't have the money as McDonald's to do brand awareness. And digital ads are the only thing that actually provides you the most cost-efficient opportunity to advertise your own business. that sucks that you lost money, I understand, but it's also onto people that have made you spend thousands and thousands without any results. I encourage you to try that. Thank you for the presentation. Before I go off the stage, I would like to talk about my friend Nathan. He went to hospital a couple of weeks ago for a brain surgery. I've met him. You know what to do. Thanks.
So I will say the words and Nicola said, Nathan is a big friend of mine. And nobody knows exactly what happened, but he somehow appeared with their head up into the red. A couple of days ago actually. And now he had a brain surgery. He's in Mexico. And he's part of our community. Not sure if you ever saw him, he's a big part of our community. He's one of the happiest persons I know. And right now he's in the hospital, he's in coma. You don't know what will happen. But if you follow Footy
Flashbacker and Gay Digital Nomads. And it's
Gay Digital Nomads, also build a community for Gay Digital Nomads, which is absolutely incredible. So if you want to know more about what's really happening, please follow that. And you can donate as well, as the whole family is with him in Puerto Vallarta in Mexico. And they need any support that you can give. And it's honestly one of the coolest things I met. I was speaking every day with the team there, with some of my friends that are on site. It's very sad, but the only thing we can do is give our best energy. And if we can support it, even better. Give me a hug. So big, yes, so sweet. Okay. This is a roller coaster. Questions? Hell no.
That's just left my right. Just left my feeling. Grabbed them by the soul. Should have had it on the first place.
Hi, thanks for the presentation. Which Coursera course can you recommend?
So, honestly, there's so many materials online and everything. I really encourage you to go first on YouTube and watch all of those 35-minute long videos and clickbaiting titles of "This is the best Facebook ads campaign I've ever built." Because this gives you already an idea of what is possible, what are the typical metrics, and then, well, keep in mind, Coursera, there's a very good ranking, not like in HGO, so there's actually reviews of customers you can look at. I don't have a favorite Facebook course or Meta Ads course or TikTok, but from Google Ads, I can really encourage you to buy the one from Einstein Kordetsky. I'm also probably it. It's 14 euros. It's a very long course, but it's super good.
Amazing. Next question. I'll go there to you, sir, and then I'll go to you, sir. In this second, I'm just a poor human trying to move.
Nice presentation, thanks. So I was wondering your opinion of, does it even make sense to experiment with the paid ads to grow the general audience? You know, that the specifically, like if I have a YouTube channel or the newsletter, does it even make sense to run the paid ads, or is this right?
I've scaled 3 newsletters with paid ads for myself, but also for clients with just Meta ads, and very successfully. And audience 100%. So this is something very new I'm figuring out at the moment. I believe that it's switching. I told you that the advertising world gets tougher because there is lots of people that can do ads right now. It's cheaper and the level of entry is lower. So I believe trust stays, but it's even more enforced as the main currency. If people trust you, they will buy from you. And I'm also a very big fan of providing the value for free first, like here by the way. Value for free first, but then make people trust you. And there is this new opportunity, a new strategy I'm looking at, where you're first running ads for your Instagram or your YouTube, let's say, for just engagement, so followers and likes. And then as soon as you've done that with some educational content and case studies or whatever, you then can retarget those people to sell them on something. I think this is indeed, like people look at you on Instagram nowadays, not even on a website, and website is going to be gone in 5 years. So people look at you as a person, like, okay, this guy is being followed by 10,000 people, and he posts every day about ads, and it's nice, I think I could have bought it. So I definitely think it's worth it, worth trying out. It's awesome.
Good morning, the presentation. I just take a specific question because I think it's the key part in long-term success. How do you retain your customers? How do you build a trusted relationship with them? If you can do that, you'll be successful. If you cannot do that, not be successful?
Well, I think a trust in the relationship, this is what my mentor taught me. Just do good work, provide amazing value, and be very, very honest. And people will stay. Acquiring a customer is one of the steps to market, and you also have churn, so people will go from you. And I think the biggest network for me personally is referrals anyway. So it's people recommending your good work. So customer relationship starts first in good work. And I didn't mention it, but if your product is shit, no ad is gonna save it. Like if you're gonna build a shitty service or a shitty product, you're gonna sell once and that's it. So I think the base of all of that is just doing good work, and then follow-ups and automations and constant checkups and reporting for more transparency. I think transparency is what people value a lot, especially in the service industry. They're like just about saying, this is what we've done, this is what it brought, even though maybe you didn't done it.
Oh, fun fact, I'm actually learning Facebook ads, meta ad in general. I spent 30 hours and halfway, and now I'm learning the next 30 hours. And it's very interesting. It's like having a megaphone, and I think that's how you should focus. Focus on, or if I'm wrong, you're the expert, but how I see it's like, I can only speak with so many people, especially in the Nomad community. Ads give you the chance to at least be in front of 1 million people, and then the right people will click and will enter the community. This is how I see it. But we need to build a community.
Yeah.
So I have a question about AI, and also that Meta has intentions to launch their own AI for ads specifically.
Already as I.
Right? Where you just give it a prompt and then budget, and then it will take care of everything for you.
Okay, you mean like this literally one-click thing?
Yeah.
Yeah, okay.
How do you, if someone's running ads today, for example, you with your expertise, you still need to know what to ask. Right? So how would you build that skill set and an understanding of that to be able to do this in like 4 years from now?
Very interesting question. 4 years is a very far throw. 4 years. I don't know what's going on right now, but I'm 21 and I don't get the long information flow. But there is already solutions for one click in Google. Doesn't work yet, at least not in Germany or not in European countries. You've seen Google View 3, right? The new video generation tool. Fuck. Like I don't need to film ads with clients anymore. You can literally generate anything. But in terms of asking, I've been around ChatGPT since it exists, and I guess I just kind of learned my way through it on how to specifically ask for things that you want. But I think the biggest leverage you can use, even if you don't prompt very well, is to give as much context as possible. I don't write any ad copy myself anymore. I even answer with emails with AI. If you talk to me, it's probably AI time. But with my guidance and then me looking over it. I think context is a lot. Like if I'm building a new strategy for a client, for myself, I'm feeding everything. Product PDFs, web pages, communication before with clients, consider like screenshots of competition ads, and then say make better, literally make better, and it sometimes works. Obviously, the better your prompt is, the better it's gonna be. There's a lot, Nikki talks about it a lot. She's a professional, go talk to Nikki Quillen. So it's like you said a role first, hey ChatGPT, you're an amazing copywriting expert that specializes on responsive search ads for Google Ads. Give me 15 headlines maximized on 30 characters, and then use the best practices and social proof. Then it's gonna be a better output, but already if you just give a lot of context, you're gonna do pretty well, I think. Context.
Many things. I have a last question for you. How the fuck a 20-year-old comes here on stage and annihilates everything? What happened in your life to make this possible?
Thanks. That's how you inspired me.
Shit, that was not the answer. Stop trying to have me feel this get away from you. All these people are trying to make you feel happy and have feelings.
You know, I started to take the lead more often after Romania, Sinaya, after listening to your speech of being, we don't have enough leaders, go out and make leadership. I even started a project about Nomad Nexus. Failed, was supposed to be a retreat, but I really wanted to get stuff going into bring people together like you do.
Oh man, the amount of
I own it in this community.
The amount of times I failed, so you only failed that one, you're good. You need to fail 10 more, it's gonna be okay. Please give it up to Daniel! God damn, these people really want to have feelings. It's getting very hard.